Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. We're going to talk about the new FM cycle, I guess VXP Weekend, and maybe the beach party. Hasn't been any announcements supposed to come out today. So, but I don't have. I don't think the beach party should really probably change anybody's plans. So, Lady Cat,
Hello.
Magic Mike.
Hi, you have got to be kidding me.
Okay. And Derpy.
I got nothing today.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, let's start moving along then. All right. We've combined the content changes with the bug fixes. Fixed an issue where the top left health bar did not update dynamically in combat. Is this a new thing? Because it seems like Bob's bugs just sort of like, it's not unusual for the game, but I thought they might have potentially ironed some of these things out with HTML5. But is that a new thing? I don't use HTML5 that much.
Yeah, it's been in HTML5 pretty much since the beginning. I'm not even quite sure it's fixed.
Okay.
I'll have to check and see if it... because in targets, you'd sometimes see that the health bar is the last target you took, and your health bar wouldn't update throughout pretty much the entire battle. It's definitely a large issue, and it's been around for a while, but I think it might be fixed. In the 143 I hit, it was updating, so this is definitely a big one.
Okay. And I don't know who still uses Firefox. Anybody out there can say hey, but
You don't say hey, as George used to say hey. We needed a George hey for that one.
Okay. Fix an issue in Firefox where some world map objects didn't appear as intended. I can't remember the last time I used Firefox. So, anybody else use Firefox? If not, we're moving on.
Moving on up.
Okay. They're removing the Tier 8 Conquerors, so no more Howlers in your base guard. And what do you think, Derpy? The advice is if you have a problem with it, go to forum or Discord.
I mean, people on Discord have been asking for them to be removed because they do make base hitting harder.
Mm-hmm.
They told us they've been doing this for a while, but yeah, seems like a good thing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a good thing to get advice from them on how to fix it, how to defend your base. I don't know.
That's a different story. Sometimes depends on what mood people are in.
Yeah. Okay. And this last one is interesting. It's one that people have been asking for a while. Is that if you're hit and I'm wondering if this is. I'm assuming this is going to be in bounty across the game, but
It already was a bounty.
Well, I was doing some odd things in bounty, which we've talked about before. Your base will start to auto repair. Will start repairing. So it will, not that it's going to auto repair all the way to complete as if you defeat whoever attacks you, but it will start to repair. So a lot of the buildings with short repair times, including your shipyard and things like that, you hopefully wouldn't have any disruption in build times or upgrade times or anything like that. But it's also the same as, because your bubble starts at that point. It makes so much. It should have been in there for a long time, because your bubble starts when you get hit. Now, but your base repairs, besides your dock, didn't start to occur until after you logged in and pushed the button, sometimes multiple times.
Didn't they do that for a reason though? Made it, or they had a reason Like, so people couldn't be hit over and over again. Let's say they go away for a week on vacation, they come back and they have no medals, they have no resources because they've been hit over and over.
Well, I mean, it, no. Well, the reason it hasn't been around for a long time is it's much simpler than that. Is the fact that it didn't allow you to prep bases. If it was already auto repairing, then a turret's all of a sudden back up, taking
Right.
shots at you that
Right.
you thought you had already knocked down. So there's some reasons it's popping up now. So
I'm glad it's there. I like it. You know, I don't have to feel like, oh, I have to check my base this morning before I go make my coffee because I need to see if I need to hit repair. I took that stress
Yeah,
away.
it's great. I got hit around midnight, logged in this morning, and everything but my outpost was completely repaired.
Yeah.
And it also prevents people, because PvP people who care about medals would just hit with a dead base. They just would stay on the world map. Their base wouldn't repair, so they could get hit, and they couldn't lose base defense because they were already flattened. So this stops that.
That's good. Yeah, that's right. I remember that happening too. That's a long time ago. Yeah, now if we could just get the dock to instant repair, or at least your ship repairs continue repairing while your dock, or does it? While your dock is dead, if you have a fleet in for repair, you still have to wait for the dock to come back, right?
as far as I know, and yeah, I did ask a couple of days ago as far as how much pushback there would be to, at least during the events, some of the PvE events, but it seems like it's all the time as far as,
That's all the
you know,
time.
yeah, but as far as, if you have somebody, it's not as bad now, but I've had instances where I'm doing a TLC and I need to go back and forth to my dock, and there's some guy just hanging out in my base, and I can't access my dock. Not that it's even dead, which is a whole different issue. But yeah, I think, some people, if you're trying to do TLCs or the raid or whatnot, having a dock down for that period of time doesn't. I don't know. I'm assuming a lot of people aren't.
I just get up and walk away. I mean, if I don't have the tokens, and lately I opened chests, I have not gotten structure repair tokens in a while. I can't repair my dock unless I coin, and there's nothing that pisses a PvE player off more than having to coin to play the game because of another player. It's okay. I mean, it's okay to coin for repairs if I don't do as well, or if it's my fault. But to have a player make me have to coin to play PvE is just annoying.
Yeah, it might have been solved way back if at some point they decided to give us a PvE shipyard or a PvE dock and a PvP dock, and then maybe have your PvE dock repair quite quickly, if not close to instant.
Yeah, because like the raid, I just walked away, came back later.
Yeah. But that's not. But the way the game was set up, in the first couple of years of the game, there weren't all these events, and that was sort of part of it. And it was, the game was different at that point in time.
I get it. That I know people that used to you had your alliances fighting with each other. That was the thing to do, is take down their dock so they couldn't play. We used to rocket docks. Remember that?
Oh yeah. That's how part of the argument that I had with not really argument, but discussion I had with Saltwater that got us the vast reduction in the rocket and our launch pad repair times, because they used to be extremely low until people started using that technique, and then they made it so your dock repair was much less than the launch pads, so you could go and take you could rocket his launch pad to
Right.
prevent him from doing that. But that's,
Yeah.
no longer an issue.
Makes sense. A lot of those rules, a lot of the rules that are in place now or were in place is because of the way things used to be. So I'm glad.
Oh, exciting news.
Ooh,
I just saw that too. I'm very happy about that. Exciting
Yeah,
news.
Does anybody want to demo it? You
demo.
can now recycle a row of walls in HTML5.
Oh my God.
It's live as of
Now.
10.25 update. So fill your
Now.
boots, whatever that means.
Now,
Or
that,
recycle your,
now that
Yeah.
I'm almost done,
I finished that a long time ago. Thank you.
where has it been on my updated ROE life?
Okay. Well, if somebody wants to, I'm not sure who, but if we want to see what that looks like, it's been live since the, I guess since the update, and just didn't make it to the update notes as far as the content change.
Game
I
turning.
thought the update notes were supposed to tell us what was in the update, right?
Oh, well, we haven't even really got to that because I'm still thinking of how I want to address something
We're still in bug fixes.
that you try to bring up, but we'll get into that as far as what shows up where and how, and yeah.
I finished mine. Mine are done. Sorry.
You've already recycled all yours. Okay.
Upgrading the walls. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, well, recycling your old ones.
Yeah, they're all redone. So
Yeah, okay. All
Well,
righty.
it'll be
Sorry.
easy for people to do that too.
Okay. So, all right. Well, if we're done with bug fixes, let's move on. All right. It's the assault siege. No, it's skirmish. Whatever. The skirmish assault. Whatever. We're hoping soon to. We have the beach party, which starts tomorrow. I assume a lot of random drop chests and skins and whatnot.
Pineapples.
Yeah, there's pineapples somehow involved and other things. So
If it drops them rum punch now, that'd be different.
yeah, that's true. And we also have VXP Weekend, which is going to be, our first chance to get some good clues on how we want to build our mutineers. And I'm glad to see that Apex Predator is back out posting videos and already has his mutineers at U3. So,
And that was before the discounted offer came out.
yeah, well, I did, I did mention the crazy builders on one of the shows, and
Well, hey, good for him. He can subsidize my game.
Yeah, and we can all learn from him, see how he does. So thank you, Apex Predator, for spending all that coin for us.
yeah. So, yeah, and so it helps us gives everybody else a look as far as what a close to full, it's fully equipped, but he doesn't have all of the freedom fists, and he doesn't have all of the old glories that we'll eventually have, but it provides a lot of insight when he puts those videos out for the players to at least get an idea of how the targets react. So I'm looking forward to his videos associated with that. So then we got bounty, yada 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 yada. So and the June contest. So I'm assuming they're not going to be memes, be something else. But okay. Thoughts on the calendar?
No.
It's just a big hamster wheel.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
same story, different day. Or
Okay. All right. The one I've been struggling with how to address. One more click. I've taken a lot of blame for things that I projected that didn't come to be true. I'm not taking any blame for this. when the CM Diary comes up, they have, or when the PVE calendar comes up, I talk to Kix and I show them the calendar. I come up with the actual dates, and they told me, well, we should be doing the dates, and promise that they will. They don't. I wasn't certain until last night when the update came out that Monday when the original update came out, we had a 3-week FM cycle. So the calendar shows 6:30, so everything is off after 6:30. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I just may drop this part because this special activity is actually on 6/16 that shows 6:30. They saw this calendar, thought it was good, actually said it was very pretty. But historically, the way these calendars worked was they were chronological, and after showing it to them, they didn't say it wasn't chronological. A couple of points here is I'm losing trust in what I see in the briefings. Number two, what is the point of a calendar if it's not chronological? What is the point of having it set up this way if we don't know when it's happening? I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts?
Yeah, I really like the idea of this, but if it's going to be inaccurate when we get it, it's not going to do us any good.
It's not that the form post that Kixeye makes is inaccurate. It's just that it's very difficult to read and understand, and that's my difficulty
it's not
with
difficult.
it.
It's impossible.
It's. I mean, if you go to the Kixeye form thing, they just didn't have a date at all on the special activity. And they just told us for the special activity, the tier S will be Zealots and the tier A will be Pegasus. They didn't tell us, they didn't give us a date. They had it in the column on the furthest right that made it seem like it was June 30th, but they never said it was June 30th.
Yeah, well, I sent it to them and we had conversation.
Yes, that's a different issue.
Yeah, but that's the issue that I have is, okay, well, there's two issues there. One, they didn't tell me after hearing me say that the FM cycle is going to be an extra week for 3 weeks, and also showing it to them and having them look at it, and me explaining that what's in the original wasn't right. I think they maybe have changed something because this used to be a tier 9 siege TLC on 7, which I'm not even sure if it's 728 anymore. It's probably 721. But what is the use of this if we can't plan to use it? There's no planning mechanism if it's not a calendar. If it's just sort of like, oh, there's going to be a special activity, it may happen at any point. There's less functionality associated with it at that point because you don't know until the week before. So let's say you do some sort of 9-day upgrade or something, you're screwed, right?
Right, or you're updating the fleet that all of a sudden you need this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
even if it's not a 9-day, it could be out, but your fleet's otherwise occupied. Yeah, we need to know this information. It needs to be accurate, and it's a shame that they approved it for you and then didn't really look at it, I guess. They should have looked at it. I wish they'd have looked at it closer. And I wish their calendar was easier to read, or however they don't call it a calendar. What do they call it?
It's called a PVE whole calendar.
There you go.
It's called a calendar, yeah.
And
you can click back, and I think is there an upgrade on click one back?
Go back. Yeah.
Hold on, let me.
PVE Hall calendar. It's supposed to get updated this week. So hopefully the update this week will actually have dates associated with it.
Well, Joe, can you show?
Well, I can jump to you, but
So
I know what it
is what
is.
they.
Okay.
This is what Kixeye. Just so everyone watching knows, this is what Kixeye has on their things. Like they've got.
When did they change this?
I'm not sure. It's been like this
No,
particular one.
It did
for a
not have
while.
dates. It did not have dates on it before.
Okay. Well, now they added dates, but
Okay, can you go up and see when it was last edited?
yeah, edited 29th May.
Okay.
So pretty early
Okay.
on.
So I didn't go back and look at that, but it didn't have any dates on it at all at that point.
Yeah. So without the dates, you'd think that this you'd think that this was week 1, this was week 2, this was week 3, this was week 4, this was week 5, for example.
Yeah.
But it's not. This special activity should really belong over here in column like 3.
Well, no, I'm sort of fine with this, but it wasn't changed for a week afterwards, and I had no reason to go back and look at this.
Yeah, if they don't tell you, yeah, I don't go back either.
Yeah, and this has different dates on next raid and pillage, etc., than what you showed Hefe just now. So
Well, yeah, I'm off by a week because of this whole thing.
And
yeah.
if Kixeye approved your calendar and when it wasn't right, that sounds like it's on them to me.
Yeah, I definitely showed it to them, and they told me it was pretty, and we talked about it for a while. So yeah.
And then they probably after that went and updated theirs and didn't tell you that they updated theirs. So we have a breakdown in communication here across the board. Looks like they didn't. I mean, yeah.
No, and as you see, mine is much prettier than that one, right, Derpy?
Well, I think mine's prettier than yours. But yes,
That
this
was
is prettier than that one.
I don't know. Whip them out.
No, that wasn't mine. Mine's different.
Okay.
We'll take a look.
Okay, right. I don't know what Derpy's talking about. I mean, there's a TikTok calendar, the one I made. Is one people have seen. I'm not sure what he's talking about.
I heard the words "whip them out."
Let's have a contest.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll give it one more click so Derpy can look at my calendar again, even though it does have issues that have been pushed it out by a week.
Pillage is going to be on 6:30. Is that what's going to happen?
Pillage is going to be on July 1st.
Yeah. 6:30.
So the 6:30 update will bring Pillage.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So basically, just move everything a week over to the left and up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, going forward, we can get a little better communication from them and better approvals.
Well, it wasn't an approval. It's like, first I asked for the spreadsheet so I don't have to type everything in, and they say, like, no, I have to do the dates. And I don't know. I should be doing the dates, so I'll do it. I'm like, okay, well, it wasn't ready for the time. There's, So I made it. They originally included May in the original version, and I sent it to them, and it's very pretty. And then they had, talked about it, and whatever. So I'm not taking the fall for this one. So sorry about that, everybody, but I've taken credit for things that have gone wrong before, and I'm not taking credit for this one. So, but just so you know, this calendar is wrong, and I'll wait till the new calendar drops to probably be wrong again. So let's move forward. VXP Weekend, Friday to Monday. And we've already pretty much teased this one enough as far as we don't know what the target looks like. But we want to know what the target looks like, especially to see what the ammo ships look like and how accessible they are. And I don't know, anything else on VXP Weekend?
No.
I hope everyone's going to have at least 3, pretty much 4 blank holes done by the first day or 2.
Yeah. My fourth one will be done tomorrow. Not just a thud on it, but get time with the FM tokens to get a few guns on it. At least.
Yeah, it was. You get based on historic data, which will probably get me in trouble again, you can get in the TLC that's going to drop next week. You probably get 9 10,000 VXP tokens, and then in Pillage you get 3 50,000 VXP tokens. So it's great to have all 4 done, but don't.
There's hope if you don't.
Yeah. Okay. And
Next slide. Anything else?
Yep. All right. Tides March, which you can now do with your zealots, and I think without much effort.
About 1.25 minutes per encounter.
Okay. It gives you 6 upgrade tokens for the base Praetorian. Even though we talked about before, upgrading the flagship is going to be the most beneficial. But between this release of 6 tokens, I'm just going to talk about the base ship right now. 6 tokens here. It was 5 tokens in the raid, 8 tokens in pillage. They're expecting you to have these upgraded very quickly. They're providing a lot of tokens to get these things done. So I would do this. I would get your Praetorians upgraded as much as possible. But again, I would start with the flag. I think people would have 6 available between what dropped in pillage and what was available in the raid. It's 8 days, 16 hours. I might suggest using those 6 tokens. Is somebody on the road?
Oh, my window is open.
Okay. So it's 2 days and 18 hours for me, I think. Over that, I would potentially think about doing that while you're ranking up your mutineers, depending on how long it takes you between repairs and whatnot. I don't know. Any other thoughts on when you would do that? But the other thing is we have a limit of 10 on the Praetorian upgrade tokens. So if you've been participating in pillage, the raid, and now in this TLC, you need to make sure that you're not overspilling your tokens.
Yeah, and I'd say if you can get your Forsaken mission done in like 2 days, you can start it then. Well, you can't because you're building your mutineers, so I guess never mind. I wouldn't do a Praetorian upgrade unless you can do all of it with tokens.
But it's going to be a well. Maybe we'll get to that with the. Okay, maybe we'll get to that with how people are performing in the FM targets that are X1 or not at X1, because we've agreed that the flag is the most important because it provides the aura to all the other ships, and it provides critical chance and whatnot. So it seems to be the most important, but the other side of it is you need to spend down these tokens if you've been participating in everything else. So it's live now and is quite easy if you have your zealots all built out. So because it was intended for much older stuff.
And even if you like got impatient and bought the upgrades already at X1, the build may change some, so it's still worth doing for the build tokens.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are maxed on those. So if you want to decide that your build is off,
change your build.
Take a look at your limits because you're getting 1, 2, 3. You're getting 8 more. build tokens for the base Praetorian. There is tokens available. There's I think it's 4 days for the flag and 10 days for the base ships if your prize store is still open for the raid. So there's a lot of Praetorian build tokens out there. So thoughts?
I bought the upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want the stress of having to deal with this too.
Yeah.
I did too, but I don't know what the hell I'd change the build to.
Well, I have a very old
late
build.
date, but
I have like a build from the beginning time. So my build's going to need to change, but I want to do a target first and see what else I might want to change.
Yeah, because there was, I don't know, I think, Mike, you had it as well. I think you used to have it. I don't think you have it anymore. Explosive Systems 2.
let me look.
To increase splash and whatnot, but that's part of the U3 upgrade, so it's probably not as useful anymore.
Oh, I guess
But
repair so I can look at what's there.
okay, let's move on to that.
No, I don't have explosive system. Yes,
No,
Yeah.
you used to. What I'm saying is you used to,
I went to Cluster Warheads.
and you changed it like 10 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
do have
clicked
Cluster Warheads 3 when I guess you only really need 2, but I do have 3 on them. I don't get that
Depends
bad.
what I look at. You need, yeah. Well, let's move on.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
As we already discussed, a 3-week FM cycle, and let's move on. All right, the 141 has disappeared. We now have the 143.
So can we play taps?
The 141. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss that target. I mean, that was a decent target. The damage was okay. I mean, it still sucked, but it was okay for the points that you got.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the last one that came out. Why didn't they start back down at the beginning? And hasn't
They did. They started back down. At the beginning.
Longer?
Yeah,
No,
the 141. Yeah.
Cool.
Because we all used to have 131s and 135s. So yeah, they did.
So 131 was the one that should have won?
No,
there's
already
one. It's already gone.
I meant 141. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The 141 was the one that was supposed to.
Oh,
Well,
that's-
the
that's
chronological. If
okay.
you take everything in order, it went away. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're only getting rid of the top 3. People were afraid they were going to get rid of the 127, which is sort of the next generation of the 120.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on. Well, let's go back. Let's go back. Does anybody want to? I mean, in my best of all worlds, I would like Kenny, who can't make it with us tonight, but Kenny and Derpy autoed the top 3 targets to determine the best ratio of points to damage. Have you autoed Derpy? Have you autoed the 143 yet, or just hit it driving?
I've hit it driving twice. Haven't autoed it yet. I think my fleet would live long enough to do that. But as I recall,
I'm sure you're as well, because I'm not at X1, and I did it, and I got 4 hours and 15 minutes
on one hit. Jesus.
Holy crap! On the 143?
Yes.
Well,
That
I'm not at
sucks.
X1. I'm not
That's
even
a horrible.
U3.
And I watched somebody do it with the free Praetorian fleet, and he did not make it through.
I got a half hour left on my repair, and then I'll do anything you want. Or it doesn't even matter. I don't give a shit.
Okay, I'm pulling up my thing. I'll go auto it.
Okay.
Whip it out.
You can auto it with your thing?
Yeah.
My thing can't auto, so I don't.
Yeah. Is this
Oh,
what
we
you're talking
can
about
change the.
Is
we
this
can
what you're
change
talking
the-
about with the smallest display error?
No, that's a large display. Don't worry about
Okay.
that.
All right.
So with the displayer is a different thing. It's the first Stormbringer.
James did the same thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The first Stormbringer isn't showing up in the target accurately. It's like in the 141. There's an invisible missile, and there's it's weird behaviors going on.
That makes sense because I thought I'd counted all the missiles, and then to know there's an invisible one, now I know I'm not totally crazy.
So there is like more than 3, right?
I think there's 3, but only 2 show up, or there's really 2, and it just moves positions once you kill it, and really isn't in the first place at all.
I think there's 3.
This reminds me of the old TFC April Fool's show where they had remember the moving turrets that they tried to sell us on? I don't know. It's a really old show.
I don't. I wish I'd seen that one.
Yeah. They were so proud of themselves. They were so happy. They're like, oh, we fooled everybody. We're like, what
we're gonna have to start working now to come up with something good for April Fool next year.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Well, don't tell anybody.
I won't. I think one time I just put out like a half-hour video of me rolling cruise. That was great. No one got the joke. It was just a half an hour video of me just rolling cruise.
I think I remember that. Pepe wanted to do a whole show with somebody built walls. He tried.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a 143.
I got smart, built all my walls before the show, so he couldn't ask me again.
Okay, well, you can see I have 5 hours damage on the thing. Flagship's better than the others because it was repairing. Flagship's at X1, and the fish ship is at X1. It doesn't have the right rockets yet, though. I need to use my tokens to put those on, and the middle 3 are damage dealing, all at U3. Okay, I'm gonna drive stat, or I'm autoing. Oh, that was almost bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it go. Oh, my fleet splits up. That can't be good. Better get back together real quickly, or we're gonna have some issues. Okay, we're going off to the left. That's interesting. When I drive this thing, I usually go off to the right. But it looks like these mountains are going to do a decent job of protecting, at least from the original couple missiles. Killing a couple turret clusters. A lot less exciting, a lot less target dense off on the left side of the thing. And there's a bunch of patrolling ships around. There's a Stormbringer missile right here, which you can see firing at me.
Right.
There's also one up on the right side of the target right about here.
And there's also one on the left.
And there's nothing in the middle.
But like, it's there. Somewhere.
It's somewhere. It's somewhere here, but it's not. And we're doubling back on ourselves off to the left. You just saw the missile coming from the top.
I think after you go to the top and then come to the left, see the left again, you might see the missile.
Okay, watch this. This turret cluster is completely dead. I'm shooting now with all 5 ships. It drives away. It's all dead. And the turret's still there. Once the building smoke clears, the turret's still there. He isn't dead. And it's moving.
Oh, jeez.
But then once I kill it over on the left side of the target, once I kill the invisible one with splash or actually targeting it,
then it dies. I just saw it.
Then
smoke.
This one over here is gone. I think it's been passed up to Kixeye. I will also be filing a ticket about this thing because apparently just put it in bug reports on Discord isn't enough. They need a ticket number 2 most of the time.
Well, I think you're going to beat Hefe's time.
Ooh,
Oh, what happened?
I pressed a button on my
Weird.
keyboard trying to open the show again on my computer.
I
Oh, I clicked a button. Oh well.
But you were done anyway.
I was done. There was nothing left.
So it was 5 hours 19:41.
That's what I was checking for to see the damage.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
before.
So,
thank you.
did you resist a lot more, or did you evade a lot more than you normally evade? So, like, is evade important in this target?
I mean, there's a decent chunk of penetrative evaded, and I can only assume that's from the Stormbringer missiles or the Vulture missiles or something. But when I drive this thing, almost all my damage is penetrative versus almost all my damage is penetrative when I drive versus when I auto. I take a bunch more explosive and the same amount penetrative ish.
But with the other targets, I don't remember us taking that much evade.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I do have up to U3 gives me an evade bonus.
Yeah.
You
So
can go to a past show where you did that.
yeah, but it's a different target, different upgrade, builds different too,
True.
one of them. But
That's true.
okay, so if my 519 beforehand, that's is that only 2 hours and 35 minutes damage?
Jeez.
That's the best auto repair I've heard anyone have all day.
Well, I drove for an hour and 50. And it's
He drove,
Yeah.
but he
I drove for an hour and 50.
I drove for 2 hours.
I don't know what I would auto for. Let me see how much longer I got here. I don't mind it. If you want me to do it, I'll do it. I've got half hour to go.
Or I can do it. It's up to you out there.
You're at X1, right? So
Yeah.
apples and apples.
I'm an X1, bad build. But I have it.
maybe not a bad build.
What do you mean
We don't
bad?
know.
Well, it's not a current.
What I keep on saying is it's a different build, but
Yeah, what makes it bad?
you don't know. It's a new target and appears to have somewhat different dynamics, and at least in regards to the evasiveness of some of the incoming projectiles.
So I took 2 hours driving and 2.5. Is that 2 hours? Yeah, 2.5 hours on auto.
You're a good
that
auto.
doesn't- Apparently,
Yeah.
but it's still 2.5 hours of damage for a target is still ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
It's
For an FM target, it's ridiculous.
I'm bringing mine up.
If you want
I
to get
like
all
Kixeye.
Give me a second.
I like Kixeye adding in the new targets to the Forsaken mission. I don't want to hit the same 127 for a year in a row, but I don't want two out of 3 or 3 out of the 3 of the targets introduced every month to give us more damage for fewer points continually and consistently.
Yeah.
if you want all the armors and both of the engines, it's like 42 or 3 targets you got to hit if you want to get the tokens as well or the chests as well. 43 targets at 2 hours and some odd a piece. Yeah, you got a week, but that's still nuts.
No.
I think it's assuming that everybody has a certain build and you're at X1. I think that's why everything's
interesting.
So what are the guys that haven't quite gotten there yet? Didn't put in the time yet? They're screwed.
Well, I watched a guy earlier hit the 143 with the free kicks build, no flag, no upgrades, free build, and he died. He didn't make it through.
I have that build that I haven't done squat with. I could do it.
Well, don't.
Well, I mean, if you want to see it, I could do it, but I don't want to.
But yours are going to be at X1. His are at U0.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. I'm sorry.
Yeah, which might, I don't know what we're proponents of if we do that.
No, I did.
What do you bring?
I was saying I don't know.
Well, you found something interesting on the prize.
The Old Glory was 45,000 on the prize list.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought I read it was 55,000 somewhere else.
No, I thought it was 45.
Do I?
Okay.
All right, you want me to auto it, Hefe?
Sure. Okay, and you were okay. I'm going to switch over to Lady Cat with the autoing the 143.
I'm
We'll get to
Alex
the
one.
build.
Are you just
All
going to
right.
let them go, or are you going to stack them first?
I'm gonna just let it auto.
Let it do its thing.
Well, because then the derpy split up, right? So if you would have stacked them, I wonder if they would have split up.
Well, when
Well,
I started it, they restack.
Yeah, they restacked pretty early on.
They did.
It
did.
wasn't that bad.
They did.
Yeah, because they do this split and then they come back around.
Yeah, that's kind of shitty.
or not.
Oh, you're not yours.
Uh-oh.
You're
Uh-oh.
you got some adventuresome ones. Oh, well, they may still stack at the same place.
Yeah, it would be all bad.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Now
It's the
bad.
purple skin.
not
It's going to get you.
Now it's
Women drivers. What's going on
What the hell?
here? I'm allowed to say it.
Who knows?
Careful.
I mean, maybe this is the way to go. You never know.
You're
Yeah,
splitting the ships
well-
up, so you're taking less splash damage.
Yeah,
Wow.
but you're also reducing the auras, the stacking auras. So we'll see how this works out at the end.
Well, yeah, I'm watching my ships auto another one. They're stacked up already. So I wonder if it's like a 50-50 chance of them stacking or not, which could dramatically swing your damage either direction depending on what your ship's decided to do.
It shouldn't have anything to do with the build.
No, it would be the same exact range. Maybe if you're
sounds like my house. Yeah, this is like can't do the 6 or 8 or 9 before going to bed at night.
Nope.
Not at this rate.
Well, I was saying there earlier on maybe you're killing a turret at a different speed than I am, either faster or slower, and that
Right.
means that your ships will then pathfind to a different turret slightly ahead of time, or your alliance has their turn speed bonus finished out, or something that's changing that around.
Yeah, because she still hasn't. There we go. Now go toward the middle.
And maybe it's the build, or maybe it's just RNG from evade, or where your splash damage lands, or something, or what crit hits you get.
Yeah, she has more splash because she has X1 and explosive system 2 on there.
I still like my warhead reloaders.
I built these, like it started to build them at the very beginning. So 3 hours and 17 minutes. All
Okay. All right. And what happened to the
I don't know. I didn't.
battle report?
I don't know.
I know. I saw it.
Stop!
But, you know,
Don't click it. Don't click X. You can on the bar graph on the left side.
Up in
Where?
the corner, left hand.
upper left.
here.
Upper left.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Oh, you probably disabled it in the in your settings.
I don't think so. I usually get one. Well, maybe I did disable it.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll scroll over the. Okay, she got 16% evaded. Well, I think you had 20.
28.
28, yeah, 28, 29 for you, Derpy.
Which is interesting because I don't. Lady Catch, you have a Hyper 30 special on your
No.
ships at all?
I do not.
Yeah, me neither. So
Why didn't I evade more? I've got more evade on X1.
you did evade more, but you also took more regular damage. Out of the total incoming damage, you only evaded. Out of the total incoming damage, you evaded 16% of the penetrative damage, whereas I evaded 28% of the penetrative damage, but you took more damage total. If that makes sense.
Well, and also you have GS3 on your flag, right?
Yes, that could be a big difference too.
Yeah,
And my ship split up.
Well, that really wouldn't affect evade that much, but yeah, he has a 50% evade boost on his flag. So the first ship getting targeted. So yeah, it seems like a
Yeah, I just did a separate FM, another target on auto. That one was 22% of the incoming damage, penetrative evasion evaded.
Are you done with this battle report? Happy.
Halfway left.
Wow.
F in the chat.
Oh, I'll say okay. And this is my build, which sucks.
Which I can't see.
It's the original build,
Oh, you don't have the new missiles on yet?
not on the flag.
New missiles. I want a missile.
The
whatever they are.
the
Rockets.
Eagles,
Rockets.
the Rockets. I do on some.
Okay.
This one has it. But this was an original build. This is Ben's build, I think, back at the beginning. I quit the game for 3 weeks back when I was building these. So I was behind, and I didn't know that there was a new build. I just sort of kept going with the existing build.
I cannot see. What is that for special?
Battery.
Okay.
So that's my build. Like I said, it's gonna need some changes. Happy, you there?
yeah.
Mike, did you happen to write down the damage I took at my total damage at the end of that second target?
Just 7 hours, and then I stopped. It was 7
Okay.
hours something. Was it 7:43 or something? I don't remember.
I think 753. I just autoed another target that took about 2 hours and 40 minutes damage.
Well, I'm gonna auto another one.
I mean, I'm almost.
So
I
I killed my entire fleet and I earned myself 1 engine.
Wow.
Oh, I'm not even gonna get an engine.
That
So
just doesn't make any. God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you are at X1, so that's
so it's sort of
disappointing for a lot of people, is what I'm saying.
Highly.
But
Yeah.
Mike has a better build or a different build that
Different.
might help.
I'll be
Yeah,
repaired here shortly. If you want me to do anything, I'll be happy to try.
Just coin it.
I will.
Well, I think
I'm only one
probably he's probably at like 3 minutes left.
I got 14 minutes. So if you want me to coin one, I'll coin it. It's only 1 coin. I'll do it if it helps. Otherwise, I'm going to wait.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious to see if my chips are going to split again.
We can always talk about the engine, look at the blueprints on that.
Oh, it's
That
true.
should
And then
kill
come
a little
back.
bit of time.
Just let me know. I don't care either way.
No, we got other things to talk about. But if you want to hit this, you can.
I'm going to hit this.
Well,
Whether we're watching or not. Do you want to go back to the slides?
No. Go ahead. We'll see if they did the same.
Yeah, I just want to see if they
Try and
split
figure
up.
out why yours did that, as opposed to.
Okay, both builds should kill that first building in the same amount of time. That doesn't matter.
But the right ones.
In mine, they move around to the left. They go below the target off to the left. I don't know why.
It must be because you have more of the Golden Eagle, I think, than she does.
Yeah, I have.
So killing the first target.
Now, this is a little different. This one above instead of behind. Just a little bit different.
But they're definitely freelancers.
Yeah, they're rebels without a cause.
Yeah. So.
Uh-oh. Now
this is not going to end well, I don't think.
I am guessing I will not be autoing this target.
That I would have expected that to be one of the most important metrics in designing a Forsaken mission target is that players can auto it.
Well,
Yeah, and this one's
this one has a mind of its own, kind of like me. Not necessarily.
Yeah, but the behavior is so different from what I saw when I did it, and then different from Derpies. So yeah, it's interesting the fact that they're
different from each other.
I think I'd stack them up before I pressed S.
Yeah, but
defeats some of the purpose, but
in a true auto test, they have to truly be autoed. So.
Yes, true.
yeah.
But I probably will be changing the build by Friday, maybe. So I can try again later. I will not auto this, which is a shame because that's how I used to handle the FM is auto a few targets in the morning before work while I'm getting ready, and then auto a few more at home. Not going to be able to do that anymore. I'll have to actually sit here, which is going to cut into my time. So that was 6 hours and 54 minutes. It was at 3 something. So that was almost 4 hours damage. That was around your damage, Hefe. And I'm an X1, so.
Yeah.
Let's see. About the same. That didn't change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, you want to go back to the slides?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna wait for Mike to, do his thing.
5 minutes. It's 5 minutes either way. I don't care.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's talk about.
Yep. Talk about the Old Glory.
It is the same price as the 45,000 points. It's the same price as the Sacred Artifact engine.
Yes, it's 45K. The max redeems per week is 2. And I'm still trying to figure out if you're supposed to go all Old Glory. If you look at the bottom on movement, you see the combat speed, turn speed, map speed, all the same. So the real differences are in defense and attack. The weights are the same, whatnot, but you see there's a significant increase in survival. We got from 3,000 on explosive to 3,200 on explosive and concussive, with a 10% increase in evade bonus.
Reef Rider has no concussive, though. So that's kind of a big deal. Could be.
Yeah, that's what I said. But
I also have to disagree that 3,200. I don't think that's a big number in terms of survival.
I think at the beginning when you're unranked, when you're not upgraded, I think the 3,000 number is
within the
we haven't seen the ship yet, but because we see a progression as you go from no upgrades to X1, these survival numbers become less and less important, right?
Yeah.
But what I do see is the Reef Rider, the older engine, has increases in projectile speed and concussive damage. So once we see this target in action, are you able to set up a tank? I mean, the Old Glory is going to work much better as a tank. The Reef Rider is going to be doing much better as far as causing damage. So are we supposed to create a mix of the Old Glory and the Reef Rider? Is the first thing I saw or thought about when I saw this.
And also, we didn't say it, there's 5% more evade on the Old Glory.
So, like, your first or fifth ship might need Old Glory.
Or sometimes it's the second ship these days.
Yeah.
That 10% concussive damage seems and projectile speed, that seems like a pretty good argument in favor of still using Reef Rider.
on some of the ships, yeah, we need to look at the targets, and that's why I said earlier, as far as some of these guys that go out there and spend a lot of gold on their ships and then demonstrate what happens in VXP Weekend. I'm looking forward to see what actually happens and the mechanics of the target, because most people, me included, okay, well, I'm not even going to have engines on mine. It's just trying to figure out a way to get some points, VXP, and then I don't really know that much about the target, so I really hope they.
Well, you know nothing about the targets.
They do bring them back, right? Around pillage, or so we get a better idea of how to ultimately fit our ships.
And didn't they give us, because we asked for it, didn't they give us a strategy guide fairly early for the last grade, even though maybe it wasn't perfect?
Yeah, it was like a week after VXP Weekend.
So
That'd be fantastic to have out again.
yeah, it'd be
But not in the
fantastic.
same, because we went through that. It wasn't. It did it cause more harm than good?
I don't recall.
Yeah, it was not, because the whole issue was they had things were called short range, and some of the things that were called short range you could outrange, some of it you couldn't outrange, and so all the ranges, everything they provided was
off. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, and so there was no way to plan around it. And if they gave absolute numbers, maybe that would have been better. But yeah, they weren't giving absolute numbers. They were giving classes, and these classes overlapped with our ship's ability to interact with the targets.
Right.
And even if you don't want to tell us the range is 92.5, do approximately 90.
Yeah.
As long as approximately 90 doesn't mean 40. Or I guess actually we have a weapon range of 93 or 92.5, right? So either we can outrange it,
or we can't.
Knowing if we could outrange it or not is actually important. So a difference between 90 and 95 might really actually be a very important thing.
Yeah, or no, I agree with you. Or the whole idea of can we outrange it? Okay, short range. Can outrange it? Medium, long, extra large, whatever they want to call it. But short range.
You ordering fries there or what?
Yeah. But short range, we should be able to outrange. We should be able to kite or snipe the target if it says short range. That's what I hope in the future, and that's what was not in the last strategy guide. It was they provided the words, but once we actually saw the targets, that wasn't the case.
So an accurate strategy guide meant to inform players as early as possible would be very helpful. Please, kids.
Yeah, because if you provide these things, it should be how you're interacting with how a player's hulls and fleets and whatnot interacts with the target. I think is the most important thing.
I wish they would show us a video. Give us a 20-second video of them playing the target. Let us see
with the new hole, like the trailer that Swag did, and
yeah,
or Derpy's one,
or Derpy's, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even have I didn't even know what the blueprint looked like, so I had to use a Nerf gun for the drumroll Gatling gun.
I love your trailer. It was awesome. Yeah, a trailer would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Magic Mike says he's ready. So.
Great.
Okay, so you want an auto of the 143?
Yeah.
Going sure.
Are you rolling dice?
No, actually, I'm eating an M&M.
Okay.
with peanuts.
Yes. I'll not do that again for restoration.
What is he doing with the peanut?
I'm having an M&M with peanut.
Supposed to suck all the chocolate off first.
I usually let them melt and then eat the peanut. Okay.
Eat the what?
Yes, I'm assuming you see it. Okay.
Yep, we're all good.
Okay, let me hide that.
Full screen on you.
Okay, say one, go. Here we go. Pow. Yep, splits too.
But yours comes around.
Yeah, it did. Comes
So,
around, goes around.
and you have an X1 fleet as well. So
Yes,
we know it's not to upgrade you, and it's definitely something in my build doing it.
I do have all the new weapons.
I will definitely make some changes before the Friday show, and we'll try again.
I did buy the X1 upgrade.
I do not have all the. I've got tokens to do some modifications, but I only have 3 of those rackets to put on, so I can't put them on everywhere.
That's
But
all damage.
if a build is making that much difference, it's going to be hard on the
Well,
player.
see, driving it was. I have a snip of it, so
You said it was an hour and a half.
50, I think it was a minute 50. An hour 50. I have a snip somewhere. Actually, it's right there. All I have to do is pull it up. So we'll see how much difference. I think it's going to take more damage.
Now, did they split up at the beginning or not?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, but
came
they
up-
acted like yours and Hefe's. They came back together at the bottom.
The differentiating factor I see is gender. Sorry to say it.
Hey, ladies, come on. Get on here. We'll see, it's just me.
Yeah, but I don't like that damage bar. Look at that.
It's like cats. They're going to do what they're going to do. You can't control. Well, you knew the auto was going to be bad. This is not an auto-friendly target,
That's for damn sure.
but it helps us sort of figure
I
out
really
what's
didn't know
happening.
how to drive it. I just drove it just to keep moving. Okay.
Well, you're going to want to use the frog formation or whatever that thing is. Use your mountains as much as possible.
0 F8 on the explosive. 13% evade on a pen. Safe there or no?
What was your total? Three hours.
3 hours 47 auto versus driving. Hold on a minute.
Extra hour,
That was my drive right there.
which was how much?
Hour
An
50.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is
Twice
auto.
the damage to auto.
It's not twice. But
Hour. Well, it's an extra hour.
the hour and 10 minutes.
Increase to 50%.
Oh wait.
1/3.
Wait a minute. 3 hours 50 versus 1 hour 50. That's 2 hours.
3 hours,
That's
47
double.
seconds.
That's double.
3
Read-
hours.
Is it
Read
not?
read the
1
units
hour
on those
50
numbers.
versus 3 hours 50.
It's
3
47
hours,
seconds.
47 seconds.
Oh, 47 seconds. Okay, sorry. 3 hours. Okay, so
Yeah, but we
2
know
hours, 2 hours versus 3 hours. So it's an
Yeah.
extra hour to
Yeah, extra hour and 10 minutes.
in rough numbers. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. You want me to do any other ones while I'm out and about? Because
I don't know. I think we've gone long enough. Because maybe Friday. Because I would like to do what we did a couple month ago, where where we had Derpy and Kenny and get the repair costs per. Where do you get your best value, so to speak?
Yeah, the 137, the 130, whatever is out there.
Yeah, well, I
What do you-
tested it. I tested it on my own. I drove them. I didn't auto them, so I'll have to do the driving one later. But driving which one is that there? Whichever one pays out 6,500 points was my best target to hit.
For how much damage?
well, that's got to be the 136 then, right?
Yeah, I was hitting the 136, 1 hour damage driving stacked, not trying hard for 6,500 points.
I don't want to drive it. I want to auto it.
Try one.
That's what I'd like to know for the Friday show. Either before then or during, is what's the best auto target out there.
I can try one while I'm still on here if you want.
Well, do we have any other? Were there other slides? It's already 8:15.
Yeah, I think that was the last. Well, the last slide was dealing with what everybody thought about the raid.
Oh, that, which I would have liked to have driven.
Yeah.
I really like the 906 target. I really like that target. It was challenging. It was fun, and I could drive it once, and then I sort of drive it once, but then my ships wouldn't respond. They were all over the place. It was crazy. So I had to give up on that target. The 116 was drivable again for a while, and then I was having so much lag that was too hard to drive. I ended up autoing them, and not happy about having to do that. So it did take more damage than I would have driving, but it just wasn't fun. It was boring.
That pretty much describes my raid too.
Yeah.
I did that same thing, autoed. I had 69 sets of the 114, 116 complete and 35 sets of the 906 complete.
Wow. How many points you get total?
About 92 million, 96 million, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's in the 80s, somewhere in the 80s.
It was, I mean, I like the choice of being able to auto the raid, but when I'm forced to do it and I can't play the target and can't hit the target, which I really like the 906.
Yeah, it was fun.
If you could play the game, but I couldn't.
And that's what concerns me in the future for any TLCs that are like that, that have the ships with auras, because we won't have half repair, and you have to do them in an hour. So I'm really concerned about any future use of the zealots. But it was a horrible raid. I think they should have compensated players for it. I mean, it's not like we needed it. A lot of us, we were still able to get our points. It just wasn't fun. So,
yeah, I ended up autoing everything. Eventually, towards the last day or two, I was able to auto both targets for auto repair in the dock, or not auto repair, but instant repair in the dock by breaking up the ships. But yeah, it's boring. There was no, nothing to do with it. Yeah, so.
yeah, it's a shame because I did like the design of everything. Yeah, I like the idea of it. Just the execution was horrible.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they'll fix it for the future.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, because but I never even drove the target, so that gives me a little bit of worry. When as I talked to you before, and what's going to happen with the TLCs, you know?
Yeah. Well, you saw us do it. You saw Simba do it here on the show. She lost control. I never had a remote radar. I tried, so I couldn't do it the easy way. And my drones just lost the will to live most of the time. They went somewhere I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
So the drones weren't really as helpful all the time. Although sometimes they were. I mean, they were killing the ships. I could stay out of range and let the drones get a lot of the ships when I could control my fleet. It's really, you couldn't stay out of those red rings if there's more than like 2 ships on there, because your ships wouldn't respond. And you were just sitting in those rings, not able to do anything.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we're getting 14% evade, but you weren't getting great evade on the other ones, were you? You were getting less evade.
Same one.
Right, Mike?
I think it was about the same.
Well, because Derpy was getting 28, but I think you 19 for.
I got 22 in a different one, so it definitely varies.
Could be the build.
Okay.
My build is like 49% evade.
Derpy's got the flag.
You have explosive 2 in there too. Okay.
I have explosive 3, but
Wow, they haven't invented that, so I'm going to call you a hacker.
explosive system. Yeah, sorry. I'm talking about warheads.
Yeah, we got some builds to be.
And this one was 4 hours 56. I started with 3:22, so an hour and a half to auto to 136 or whatever the hell that was.
So you think adding guidance scrambler to just the flag or to the whole fleet would be helpful at this point?
Well, the flag generally, even if you drive it as a tank for sure, and generally speaking, even without, the flagship seems to get targeted more often than the others.
Right. Okay, I'll look at that for my flag. I don't want to drive.
It might be worth changing, might not be worth changing. Definitely isn't if you're going to do slow build.
Well, I also want to be able to do pillage. And one of my concerns is if I change this build too much, am I still going to be able to use it for pillage? And how will it affect me there?
Okay. I don't know. We've been going on for an hour and 18 minutes. Much else we should talk about?
No. Dude, unless the update came out for Beach Party, whatever it is.
Is that even supposed to drop today?
It's
dropped today.
Yeah,
But hot before the show. Did it now? Did somebody check and see?
I just checked. It's not out yet.
Yeah.
Maybe they're compiling all our. Maybe they're taking into account our feedback about the 143 and are actively looking to change it.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I have some swampland in Florida I could sell you too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. Well, I will. Let's see. I'll post the link in case anybody wants to join the after show. And there's that. And I don't know. See you on Friday when I don't know. Are you up for a derpy? As far as the auto comparison, as far as the repair points versus repair efficiency?
Yep, I should be able to do that.
Okay. And anybody else, and we'll run through that and figure out what's the best thing to auto at this point in time. We're assuming it's the 136 without any data, or the 136 based on no data. But maybe we'll learn more in the future.
Raise a glass to the 141, y'all.
Yep.
Give me 4.5 for the boys.
There you go.
All righty. Well, we'll see y'all on Friday, and wish you all the best of luck. And we'll see you then.
Good night, all.
Have fun.
Later,
Have fun
people.
hitting this stupid target.
Yep.